Hi, and welcome to our presentation. My name is Dr. Joaquin Villegas, and my co-presenters are Dr. Albrecht and Dr. Wen. Our project is on the unburdening minutiae overload in family medicine resident planning using an interactive PDF. Intern year can be difficult for family medicine residents, not just due to the increase in medical knowledge, but due to the constant administrative workload. Often, program directors have to balance efficient communication versus having the risk of information overload. In the past, information overload could be mitigated through the passing down of information through formal methods such as manuals and handbooks, and informal methods such as talking to your upper levels or your fellow residents. With the unpredictability of the COVID-19 pandemic, constant adjustments had to be made to clinical rotations and administrative duties. Unfortunately, this made passing down of information difficult due to the limitations from social distancing that made face to face communication difficult. Studies have shown that the administrative workload can actually affect residents, as well as fully trained physicians, and their perceived satisfaction from their work. A 2016 study found that for every 1 hour physicians spend in the clinic, they have to spend 2 additional hours of administrative tasks. Usually, these are done during outside office hours on their own personal time. For our hypothesis, we created a prototype rotation app, also called the ROT app, based on PowerPoint and PDF interplay that can be interacted through mobile devices, computers, and laptops, sort of like an app that can be used regardless of the operating service of the device. Due to the nature of us creating the ROT app by ourselves, it is highly personalized for the requirements of our specific residency program. It is also easily redactable and accessible by our fellow residents. The ROT app has been officially in use since the last academic year of 2019 to 2020. Initially, the app was used to provide monthly rotation information, such as contacts for the rotation, as well as the location of the clinic, and a calendar with each resident's phone number and assigned rotation for the whole academic year. However, we have also added ITE exams for educational purposes during downtime, as well as quick guide references for the ACLS and the also protocols. Earlier in this academic year 2020 and 2021, we conducted a survey of all the residents, including incoming PGY1s and outgoing third years. Here are the results of that survey. The survey had a scale of 1 to 5, with a score of 5 being the most favorable. We had a response rate of 79.17%, with an overall grade cumulative of 4.28. Here are the results, further broken down into most useful components and least useful components based on their overall score, with 5 being the highest. Here are the components graded most useful by each class. And here are the components rated least useful by each class based on their overall scores. Conclusion. From PGY1s to recent graduates, the ROT app was well received, with an average grade of 4.28 out of 5. Specific year rotations will have more of an impact on which components are considered useful per class year, specifically for specific rotations such as newborn OB for PGY2s and the TCM clinic for third years. Third years like to use the ROT app for ITE questions as they prepare for boards and to increase familiarity with the younger resident classes since there is not that much interaction. The ROT app was useful to give control of residents' whereabouts and increase familiarity with their fellow co-residents. It also helped decrease the burden of administrative minutiae and overwork. However, the motivation components of the app were not considered as useful, such as the advisory meeting reminders, the QI project reminders, and the ABFM module reminders. For our goals going forward, now that we have buy-in from our current residents, we think it's important to continue to utilize the ROT app, fully knowing its limitation and usefulness. For this, we would like to get 100% survey completion from our current residents so we can get a better, thorough data analysis. Having said this, we could also do a ROT app light version. What this means will be we can take out the components that are not as useful while expanding on the most useful components based on previous year's scores. Also, we would like to be able to continue to get resident feedback to improve on the ROT app, which will make us improve the usefulness of the app itself.